Coach, if you can, just describe the feeling of this victory here today and how you went about it.
First of all, it was quite a fight. It was like that during the entire year against them. I think both teams weren't giving each other an inch. And you got to really give these guys credit because you look at they were lost one guy and then they lost another and they keep fighting. And then it was our turn to start losing guys also. And it was a war of attrition. And, it went down to the wire. I said in 7 and in overtime. It's in 6 in overtime. I think it's the first time Ottawa gets 4 overtimes in its history in the playoffs in one series. So that's how close it was. So I think I have a lot of respect for the players in that room because if you look at the game, we start with 3 power plays that don't work out. Then they score on there, so mentally it could have affected us. Then we play really well in the second. We take a lead. We come back. We have a bad change. All 5 guys change while they regroup, so that's deadly. And we know we can't do that, and we make that mistake, so that's hard. And then after that, they kept pushing, and I thought we were playing on our heels. And so, in overtime, the message was clear. We're not going to play on our heels. We didn't work all year just to sit back and hope things turn our way. We wanted to be aggressive like we normally are. And then we were really aggressive in the overtime. I thought we played great in the overtime. And instead of being scared to lose, we were hungry to win.
You told me this morning that you thought Clark MacArthur deserved more ice time, and obviously you gave it to him, and it paid off.
Yeah, there's a lot of great stories in this room, but I don't think there's probably one better than that one. You saw what he had to go through all year, and I think everybody wrote him off for sure. And I think maybe himself at some point, but then he fought through, and he's the one that said, I'm coming back, Coach, I'll be available for the playoffs. And I wanted to believe him, I really did, but then you think, he hasn't played for 2 years, how good's he going to be? So we started this series with him scoring on a power play. We finished the series with him scoring on the power play again. I thought he played great 5-on-5. Like he battled, he paid the price on the boards. And if you look also, there's other stories. Bobby Ryan. I mean, you look at Bobby, he was out. I thought he was done for the game, they told me. And then he waited for the x-rays, and the minute he found out it wasn't broken, just came back on the bench, and I'm ready, Coach. And then he goes out there and makes that final play there. So that Wingles came in and played great. Clayson came in and played great. Fresh guys. I think today things went our way, and we really got better mentally, I think, with everything that happened.
You may have just answered my third question, and that was you added a couple of new players here, fresh bodies, and safe to say that you got a little or a lot from everybody.
I did, and I try to look back at last game, what I could have done differently. And, there's X's and O's and all that, but I think beyond that, I shortened the bench a little. We lost Stahlberg at some point, and there's some guys I didn't play enough. I thought if Stahlberg wasn't playing today, which we thought he wasn't going to play, so there's another great story there, a guy paying the price. But I thought Kells didn't get enough ice time last game. I thought MacArthur didn't get enough ice time last game. So I kind of went with 3 lines, pretty much the whole overtime, first and second. And I thought we didn't have the juice that we could have, and that was on me. So I promised myself today that regardless of what was going to happen, I was going to go with 4 lines the whole game, and that's what I did. The whole game, one line after the other, everybody fresh. So we wanted to be the fresher team for as long as the game was going to last, and I thought that might have made a difference.
When a series has 4 overtimes, what does it say about that series?
Well, it says that you got 2 teams that have character. You got 2 teams that won't say die. And I think, on their side, the one thing we knew, and that's what we have to gain on our side, but we knew that their high-end players have lived through a lot of those, a lot of adversity, and you could see it. They're the ones leading that team, whether it's Chara, Bergeron, Marchand. You saw them lead and get them out of tough moments or bad periods or bad 10 minutes, and we knew we had to gain that. Like, this is what's good about our team right now, is that over the season we learn how to be consistent. We learn how to be tough mentally regardless of what was happening. But we hadn't lived it in the playoffs. And that's what we wanted to gain out of these playoffs right now, is every game we wanted to improve to the level that their top guys were at. so that we're able to manage pressure, we're able to manage tough moments. And that's all it was, all series, tough moments. So I think for the development of our players, not just for winning, but for us going forward, all these leaders, whether they're young or older, I think will gain from it. And yeah, I think right now we're stronger than we were a few days ago.
Goaltenders earn their reputation in the playoffs. Guy, how would you evaluate Craig Anderson?
I mean, you look at what Craig's had to live this year to be able to keep that focus and to be able to come in and make those big games count when we needed them. Even at the end there, he's having a tough time, and then the last games he just shut it down, and that was it. Took us to the playoffs. And you look at this series today, made some huge saves again. You can't win without a good goalie. You can't. And he's been great. He's been unbelievably strong mentally, and I can't say enough about him.
Guy, I know you got the power play in the overtime, but did anything change from the third to the overtime for your team? Just if you look at shots, I think they were 12-3 after third.
Yeah. Like I said, we had a terrific. I thought we played really good in the first. We didn't score in our power plays because we were a little off in what we wanted to do, which is what you saw in the overtime. And then we had a terrific second period, and we came out in third. And because we gave up that goal, all of a sudden we got on our heels, and that's the mental part. That's where it wasn't physical, and we just talked about that between the third period and the overtime. That it wasn't physical. We didn't lack any juice. We had as much juice, if not more, than the opponent. And we had to just go on the ice and stop being scared to lose. We wanted to be hungry to win. We wanted to pressure hard. We wanted to be in their faces, and it shouldn't have changed for the third period. But like I said, that's something you need to live. You can say that, but you need to live it and do it, and that's how you become good enough to win those big moments. And I thought our players reloaded real strong after the third period and came out. So it's easy to say for me, but they did it. I mean, I look at this year, the whole year. They did it. Like, we've asked for being on the same page. They did it. We've asked them to be getting stronger mentally. They've done it. We've asked them to be structured. They've done it. We asked for everybody not to care who got the credit. They've done it. So it's all about them. They have pushed this to where we are right now. I'm really impressed by the players, and it's all about the players.
Guy, can you just talk a little bit about your captain? 70-plus minutes in the last two games. He confirms after the game today that he'd been playing with a hairline fracture. If you can, just touch on his play and the performance that he had.
Oh, man, this guy's a machine. That's what it is. He's to be able to play that many minutes and be that good defensively and offensively. That's where he's at right now. He's at such a high level. And I really liked him also on the bench today. He's really calm about what was happening. And he can be a fiery guy, and he's got some emotion. And what I liked is he's really grown into somebody that knows when to use his emotion and when to keep it aside. And today was a perfect example of that. So I was really impressed. Man, to see where this guy is right now, to see him this year, throughout the year, I think, put the building blocks one on top of the other to become the guy, the player that he is now, the man that he is now. I'm real fortunate to have lived it and seen it. So, yeah, and I think everybody benefits from it.